I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jodi, and this is our renovation story.
Cheese! We bought our first house in 2018 and kind of got in over our heads as far as the work that needed to be done and what we thought we could accomplish ourselves and what we thought it would cost, and learned a lot of lessons along the way.
That was a full-scale renovation. We did all 3 floors.
We did a lot of it ourselves, you know, with our bare hands, basically.
So when we got this house, we were able to apply the mistakes that we had made. Let's not do that again. Let's try this different.
Yeah, we had just gotten done with our renovation, and the actual location of our house was kind of on a corner. And with Jocelyn getting a little bit older and wanting to play outside, we thought maybe it was better to find something else. So we listed, and it was a pretty quick experience. Went live on a Friday. Saturday and Sunday we started showing it, and it was done by Sunday.
It was wild. We were like, okay, where are we gonna go now? Ryan found this house. I was away on a trip.
It didn't show well on FaceTime. It didn't show well in the listing photos, but there was something about it that was inherently charming.
My first impression was no way. I was tired from all of the renovation that we had just done, and it was exhausting, it was draining financially and energy. And when I walked in, it smelled. There were pet stains everywhere, scratches from the dog. It was a mess. So I said no, and we left. And our realtors actually sent us a house with this exact same layout. Some friends of theirs had renovated that one. And so I saw, okay, if I look past the filth, there's a lot of potential. And then it was like, we have to have this house.
And I think our parents probably thought we were nuts.
I was pregnant. Jocelyn was only 2. Mariah was 15 getting her learner's permit. We had a lot going on, definitely all at once, but that's kind of how we do it. So the kitchen was in pretty bad shape. The cabinets were all, you know, some of them were broken. The island was older, you know, where there's the sink and then the lift for the bar, and it was pretty narrow. So we knew we were gonna have to knock everything out. And this is our kitchen. This is where we did a lot of renovation.
We made the aisleway here a little bit bigger, and we extended the island further that way. So other than that, the plumbing and the electrical basically stayed the same.
By not moving plumbing and electrical, we're able to save a lot of money and then make the money go farther for the aesthetics.
We both had come across some design inspiration with some pretty cool custom cabinetry and a hood. We've got a great contractor that's been with us for this house, the last house, and he's been awesome. We gave a sketch and a picture to Mario of what we had envisioned, and he built a hood, and it was
exactly what we wanted.
The last house, I tried to do a lot of things and then would bring him in for the big stuff. Whereas this house, we were pretty tired and we had more kids. So they did most of it. All new cabinetry, new tile, new lighting. When we first moved in, there was a double wall oven here, and then there were cabinets with a microwave here. So obviously we removed all of that and we switched out the double wall oven for the oven and a half. One of the other things that we did is, rather than having the cabinet stop halfway up with sheetrock, we had our cabinet contractor source this cove molding so it looks like it's entirely up to the ceiling. Gives it a cleaner, more finished look.
We wanted a cool little coffee bar area, and when we got in here, there were uppers, which we didn't need that much cabinet space. We love floating shelving. It's a way to display what we have, and also it's very functional, just reach and grab. The dark tile was all Ryan's idea that I was not on board for at first, but it turned out so good. When we started design with the old house, we would kind of be on different, sides of how we felt about one thing or another. And we always found our way to the middle, but when we got to this house, we decided to come up with a scale from 1 to 5. 1 means we love it, 5 means we hate it. If something is a 5 from one of us, it's thrown out. It's not even considered anymore. That was our way to be considerate of each other's feelings about certain things. So that has carried over. We use it a lot, even in our personal life. Right off the kitchen, we have our keeping room, which neither of us have ever had before. So
I didn't even know what it was. Like,
it's a southern thing, I think. We love that. That's where we land with the kids. And, you know, when we're cooking and entertaining, people tend to sit right there and we're all together. The big arch window actually was shattered. So that was first and foremost, got that fixed. And then we decided to add some custom bookshelves. We knew we wanted to do something to showcase a lot of books and have a little cozy library feeling in here. So we mapped out how we wanted the shelving to look. Of course, Mario brought it to life, framed out the TV, and then this is our little home library. One fun feature that I actually really wanted to do was have the bookshelves extend over the doorways. Just thought it was so cool to walk underneath books. We like to entertain. You know, in our old house, we actually hosted my sister's wedding in the backyard.
Sister's wedding.
And your sister's wedding.
We had two weddings.
We did. We just like spaces that people come and they feel comfortable. And
so rather than spending our money on other things, we like to, you know, put our money towards our house, you know, and making it a place where we like to be and where families like to be. We're homebodies.
And this is our dining room. We added a lot of little touches to give it some character.
The dining room's pretty simple. I mean, it's 3 walls because it's open to the foyer. The walls just needed some character. We wanted to get clever with the trim work. These slats made from plywood are 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick, so it just gives it a little bit more dimension without overhanging too much into the space. These are our personal photographs that we took when we've been to Italy. I go there for work and Jodi's been there with me, so we actually took each of those pictures throughout our different places in Italy we visited.
This room is a great example of where we learned to splurge versus save. We splurged on the light in here. It's a focal point when you walk in the house. The ceiling medallion was a friend of mine. She was renovating her house and going to throw it away. And I asked her, if you're not gonna use it, can I have it? I love pieces like that that look like they've always been here and add some character to the house.
One of the other things that I typically focus on when we plan a room and its budget is things that we like to freshen up a room, like curtains or rugs. You know, those things are not something to spend a lot of money on for us. You know, we typically buy less expensive rugs and curtains and even frames, and we put our money towards, you know, the carpentry and the lighting, and everything works, but within a budget. This is our living room where we spend time, you know, as a family watching movies or games or whatever.
It was also in rough shape. The carpet was all stained and the fireplace was stone, but it just wasn't, you know, our style.
My favorite thing about our living room and maybe even in the whole house is our concrete fireplace.
You can see like the brush strokes in it. We thought that the look would be really cool, really unique.
We're just super happy with the way it turned out. So the first thing that we did when we kind of moved into the house was obviously the flooring. So we carried that throughout the first floor and the second floor. We chose a pretty cool paint color. You know, it's a little darker, a little moodier.
We like to do monochromatic paint in some of our rooms for some coziness. So you'll see the ceiling is the same color as the walls. The art is actually just a print that comes rolled up, and you can get the custom frame to go with it that is very affordable, but they're made for each other. It's massive, it looks expensive, but it's really not. Now we're gonna go to Frankie's nursery. This is the space that I really had a lot of creative freedom with. Ryan let me run with it, which was really fun because it's the first room I've ever done all by myself. I was really inspired by this wallpaper. From there, I just wanted a lot of pattern on pattern. So the ceiling in this room was kind of awkward. We have these ceiling headers in here, and so in order to give them some purpose, we did paneling all over the ceiling and then decided to wrap these as well.
She put her heart and soul into this, and she did a really good job. Super happy with how it turned out, and I don't think it'll be the last room that she does start to finish, so I'm pretty tired.
So this is our basement that we just finished like a couple weeks ago.
The basement has been kind of our project for the last 10 or 12 months, and we've just done it in phases as time has permitted, and of course as money is permitted. So we started with a kind of a mess down there as well. Water damage. There was purple carpet.
It smelled.
Yeah.
The stairs were unfinished. There were big space gaps between the stairs and the walls.
We redid the flooring, and the kitchenette was a big undertaking. Jodi picked out some really cool wallpaper.
It was a lot of built-in cabinetry, pretty outdated, so we ripped it all out. We added these cabinets, and one of my favorite pieces is this countertop. I found this remnant, and I just loved all the natural tones in it. It pulled in all the taupe that we were going for down here and added the wallpaper and the open shelving to tie it all together.
And right over here is our basement family room.
We added these box trim panels around the room just to give it a little bit more of a custom look, and painted, monochromatic all throughout the room, carried it onto the ceiling for a little extra custom touch. And this is the tour of our house. This is our renovation story.
So far.
Right, to be continued.